We are continuing today in Mesillas Yesharim in Perek Tes Zayin. So we continue. Kihine kishem she'ein ola al gabi hamizbeach shalamata elosolas nikia menufa b'shlosh esrei nafa shekvar tar legam mikol sig kach efshar lalos al ritzon mizbecha el yon lios ma'avodas akel shem b'cheres ela muvchar shebemaisim. So if you remember again, we spoke about in yesterday's shiur the concept of tara, specifically again in the avoidance of a mitzvah shelo lishma, performing mitzvahs not for the correct or appropriate purposes. We spoke about three different categories, and here the Ramchal says that the same way that on the earthly altar, on the earthly mizbeach, you can't offer up flour unless it's been sifted 13 times, meaning the flour itself has to be pure, the flour itself has to be good. So too again, when it comes to the service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the goal is that our mitzvos should be performed with pure intentions as well. Now the Ramchal qualifies this, and he says, well, not qualifies this, but he says, now again, a person shouldn't think that therefore if they can't do a mitzvah with absolute purity of intent, that the mitzvah is meaningless. Chas v'shalom, he says, remember, the Ribbon Shalom is appreciative with anything that we bring his way, right? Any mitzvah we do, the Ribbon Shalom has incredible akarsov, incredible gratitude for that. So a person shouldn't think that if I can't serve Hashem with purity of intent, that my act is therefore meaningless. Rather, umishalim schar ma'asan lefi ma'ashem amnam ala avoda tmima ani midaber haruuya lechol ohavei Hashem be'emes shelo yikara bezeh Hashem ela ha'avoda ha'tohora legamrei shelo tiyeh ha'pniya ba el l'shim yisparach v'lo lezulaso. So Ramchal says, in life in general, what we look towards is to find the absolute good, right? What is the goal? So the goal is to be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu without any ulterior motives. As we described in yesterday's shiur, that I serve Hashem for the sake of serving Hashem. I serve Hashem because it's a mitzvah to serve Hashem. I serve Hashem because I have the opportunity to serve Hashem. There's no desire for kavod. There's no desire for reward. There's no hybrid model. I just serve for the sake of serving. So the Ramchal explains that one should at the same time understand that although this is the goal, even if I'm not able to reach that goal, my avoda still has dramatic importance in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Huma she'amar David HaMelech alav hashalom omer mili b'shmayim ve'imcha lo chafatzti ba'aretz. So amar kimochein tzirufa imrascha ma'od va'avdecha aheva. So focusing a bit more on the second pasuk, literally tzirufa imrascha ma'od means Hashem, your words are incredibly refined. And then Ramchal writes over here, he says, Ki ha'be'emes ha'avoda ha'amitis tzricha lios tzrufa harbi yosim min hazav min ha'kesef. The same way that gold and silver have to be purified multiple times in order to create a beautiful finished product, so spirituality, avodas Hashem, is the same way. V'hu ma she'amar ne'emar ala Torah imros Hashem amaros tohoros Kesef tzaruf ba'ali la'aretz mizukak shivasayim. So the pasuk compares Torah to gold and silver, and the same way gold and silver only reach their true potential, right? You only bring out the complete beauty once they're refined multiple times. So too again, Torah, service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, mitzvos, is most coveted and most beautiful when it is refined. How do you refine spirituality? By engaging in it for the right purposes. Umishu ovid Hashem be'emes. And therefore, again, a person who truly serves HaKadosh Baruch Hu, lo yistapek bazeh b'muat, v'lo yisratze lekachach kesef me'urav b'sigim b'dilim, tainu avoda me'uraves b'penios lo tovos. So a person who is a true servant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to want unrefined spirituality. So what's unrefined spirituality? Just like unrefined gold and silver has impurities mixed into it, unrefined spirituality also has impurities mixed into it. The impurities mixed into spirituality are the three levels of shelo lishma that we described in yesterday's shiur. Ela hazach v'atar karoi. What a true Oved Hashem wants is to have true, refined, pure spirituality. V'az yikare osem mitzvah kim ma'amara. Sha'alav amru chachamenu zichronam levracha, kala osem mitzvah kim ma'amara, ein mevastrin oso besoros raos, v'chin amru zichronam levracha, asei devarim l'shem pa'alan, v'daber bahen lishman. So this concludes today's shiur. And again, essentially what the Ramchal, a little bit of a shorter piece today, but essentially what the Ramchal is telling us is something really exceptionally profound. That the same way, in a physical sense, gold and silver is most beautiful if it's purified, if the impurities are removed. Spirituality is the same way. Spirituality is most beautiful when the impurities are removed. What are the impurities of spirituality? Again, the 3 levels of Shalol Lishma that we learned about in yesterday's shiur. So the goal is to remove that, and I'm left with pure spirituality. But again, it's important to continue the mashal, because in the same way, if you have gold and silver that has impurities mixed in, while it's true that that gold and silver is not as valuable, but it's still valuable. It's still gold and silver. And the Ramchal says the same is true with spirituality. Spirituality with impurities mixed in may not be the highest level of spirituality, but lest we think that it's not worth anything, lest we think that therefore it has no value, of course not. There's no such thing as a spiritual act which doesn't have value in the eyes of Hashem, meaning every single time I do something, even if I'm not doing it perfectly or as it should be done, there is still value in that act. HaKadosh Baruch Hu appreciates any spiritual initiative that we undertake, any effort that we expend, but of course the goal is that ultimately it should be a refined act of spirituality. Wonderful. We'll stop over here for today. Wishing everyone a lichtige Chanukah.